Hello, my name is Erika, and today is Sunday, the 22nd of February, 2026. Here's the news and trending stories from the past week. Our lead story: the United States. The U.S. Supreme Court struck down President Donald Trump's country-specific tariffs that he had implemented over the last year. They cited that the authority he used, called IEEPA, did not grant him this power. Within hours of the ruling, President Trump had issued a 15% uniform tariff on all imports to the U.S. under a different authority. This will keep the average tariff rate close to the previous amounts. However, the companies that paid tariff duties prior to the ruling can seek refunds which may amount between $150 and $400 billion. Now to other global stories. Iran. The U.S. military hardware continues to flood into the Middle East, with hundreds of bomber, fighter, and supporter aircraft staging across the region. The Iranians have been observed hardening their nuclear sites via satellite imagery in preparation for strikes. Talks are still ongoing between the U.S. and Iran. However, President Trump has stated that a limited strike may be necessary to induce the Iranians into making concessions. England. Rupert Lowe, a current MP in the British Parliament, launched a new political party this week called Restore UK. In his announcement video, Lowe promoted a rigid nationalist agenda. Restore UK has since seen a surge in membership and polling in just the last week. The Caribbean Sea. The United States struck and sank 3 narcoterrorist fast boats this week, with 11 reported to have been killed in the strikes. Now to the United States. Rhode Island. A transgender individual conducted a shooting at a skating rink during a high school hockey game in Pawtucket that killed 2 and injured several others. Florida. A student was struck by a vehicle in Palm Beach following a teacher-led anti-ICE walkout. The student was critically injured after stepping out into the street during the protest. In Stuart, Florida, a man that had illegally entered the country and had then received temporary protected status during the Biden administration attempted to drown a woman walking on the beach. He is currently being held on first-degree murder charges. Idaho. The suspect is still at large in a deliberate terror attack against a building suspected to house ICE workspaces in Meridian. The suspect stole an ambulance from a local medical center. He then used the vehicle to crash into the entrance of the government building. The suspect then doused the building with gasoline that had been pre-staged before ramming. However, the imminent arrival of law enforcement forced the suspect to flee prior to being able to ignite the fuel. North Carolina. A flashbang grenade was tossed from a vehicle at a polling site in Moore County. There were no injuries reported, and the suspect in this case remains unknown. Now to economics and finance. Q4 GDP numbers were released that were below Wall Street expectations, with the economy only growing 1.4% year over year. Retail titan Walmart reported earnings this week. While its previous quarter numbers were good, the giant guided to its next quarter revenues below expectations. Now to culture and entertainment. Civil rights icon Jesse Jackson died this week. The outspoken reverend and political firebrand died at the age of 84. That's the news and trending topics. I'm Erika from Sunday Nyte Live. See you next week.